Hi guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today on here I want to put together a video for anyone who is looking at taking on their own salon, so their own commercial property. This time last week I posted an hour-long, super long video of my experience when I took over a commercial property, and I just had loads of problems with it and I had to back out at the last minute, and it was a very, very expensive mistake and a very, very expensive thing for me to go through. So today I wanted to make a video just going through the main things, the main bits of advice which I would give anybody who is looking at going through this process. And I want to include all the things which I wish that I'd known before I went to take on my commercial property before. So the first thing which I'd recommend doing is find a solicitor. Find a solicitor as soon as you start this whole process, even before you maybe even find your premises. This move alone could save you so much money, and it's just so good having someone on board with you who has your back throughout this process. So I would definitely recommend finding a commercial solicitor, someone who knows their stuff when it comes to commercial leases, and someone who knows their stuff when they're going through the whole process of taking on a commercial property. This is the best investment which you can make when it's taking on a salon, because if you've got a solicitor on board helping you, they will try and get you the best deal. The second thing which I'd recommend doing, this is for anybody who is renovating a property. So if you're taking on like a rundown salon or shop or somewhere which hasn't been in use, and you're renovating it, you're putting new floors in, you're making it, you're adding value to that property, you need to make sure that every single bit of work which is being done to that property, you need to make sure that you've had professionals in to look at the job, to suss out what needs doing, and they need to have given you like a solid quote of how much it's exactly going to be, just so that you are fully aware of exactly how much money it's going to cost you to renovate that property to the standard that you want to get it to. So the third point is following on from my second point, that if you are renovating someone's property and you're going to be adding value to that property, you should be getting a rent-free period when you first take on the lease. So this is just to make up for the money which you're spending on their building or their shop to make it, you know, usable, and it is vital that you should try and fight for the best deal you can on that. And what I learned afterwards is the bigger the renovation, the bigger the rent-free period. So it could be anything between 3 months to 12 months, but it is quite a usual thing that a rent-free period is offered by the landlord if you are renovating it and you're going to be adding value to it. And this is another reason why having a solicitor helping you with this process will no doubt help you negotiate to get the best deal on that rent-free period. So the fourth thing, which at this point you've found your property, you know exactly how much your renovation is going to cost, and you know who's doing all the work, and you're fully aware of all of that. You've negotiated a rent-free period with your landlord. Now when you come to getting the lease drawn up, I would recommend either getting you and your landlord to go 50-50 if there's a cost involved. I, obviously being stupid and naive, when I did mine I agreed to pay £600 out to pay for that lease to be drawn out, and my landlord didn't pay bugger all, and I did, and that was just money just thrown down the drain for me. And since my awful experience, I've since learned that it is normal procedure to either for the tenant not to pay for the lease to be drawn up, and if there is a charge involved, it's quite normal for the landlord and the tenant to go like 50-50 in with it. So the fifth thing, now at this point you should be getting your lease drawn up, or you should have your lease drawn up ready to go through in a lot of detail. At this point now, I would recommend ringing your local council. So you need to ring your local council and have a conversation with them. You first of all want to find out exactly how much the business rates are, and if this is your only shop, you will be entitled to a relief, so you shouldn't have to pay business rates. But I would ring them, ask them how much the business rates are, what's the process of getting the relief off them if it is your only shop. If it's your second shop, then obviously you need to contact them and find out like exactly how much the business rates are gonna be, and that'll obviously be on top of like your rent and also all your bills. The second thing which you need to speak to the council about is the purpose of the property which you're taking on. So if you're taking on like an office space and renovating it into a salon, you need to let them know that you're changing that property into a salon, and there's more than likely going to be a charge on you changing the purpose of the building. And they'll also make you send off like a drawing showing where you're going to change anything, like so if you're going to put any sinks in, if you're going to change any of the plumbing, they'll want like a drawing just to show any changes that you're going to make. And the third thing you need to speak to the council about is about outside signage, because you need to let them know where you're going to be putting signs outside the property for your, obviously for your advertising, and there's also costs that are incurred with that. So I would definitely recommend just finding all of that out before you even think about signing the lease, and make sure from the council you get it in writing. You need to get it in, try and get it in writing, any costs which may arise during this process. Again, this was another major mistake which I made last year when I went through the process, and obviously I had to learn the hard way. But yeah, have a conversation with the council and get everything you can in writing beforehand. Then the sixth thing I'd recommend doing is go through that lease with a fine-tooth comb with your solicitor. You need to make sure your solicitor has read through it, and your solicitor has made you fully aware of literally every single thing in that lease. You need to know exactly what you're signing yourself up for. And at this point now, you need to be fully aware of exactly how much it's going to cost to renovate the property. You need to know what your rent-free period is. You need to know exactly how much money the council are going to be getting out of you. So you need to know how it works with the business rate, how much they're going to be, what they're going to be charging you to change the purpose of the property if you need to, and how much it's going to charge to obviously put signs outside. And this now brings us on to the last bit of advice which I want to give you. So you haven't signed the lease, but if your landlord has said that they'll do anything to the property before you move in or before you get in there, make sure that anything they've promised they actually do. Make sure they get it done before you sign the lease, just to make sure that everything is ready for you to go. And then at this point, if you are fully happy with everything, then I would recommend you sign the lease and start the business. And I hope that the things which I've mentioned in this video do help anyone who's looking to go through this process. Like I say, I wish I'd have known these things before I went through what I went through last year. So, and if you're watching this video, I want to wish you luck in your future business, and hope you've enjoyed my vid today, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.